Hi, welcome to another edition of Shabbat Lounge. And as always, I appreciate you taking time to listen, and I ask that you give me a like, a comment, a favorite, in whatever platform you're listening to, and please share it with a friend if you find it beneficial or if you think someone you know might be interested in the topic. Well, today I want to talk about spring. Today I'm driving around on a blustery, cold 1st of March day. And so March is really coming in strong with a strong, cold north wind and temperatures that were started off as freezing and not warming up too much. A little bit of drizzle and more cold weather and uncertainty in our forecast in the coming days. But as I drive around, I'm in the landscaping world, and so I notice and pay attention to what the trees are doing and what the grasses are doing, and that's part of what I got to know. And you can begin to see the signs of life are everywhere. The trees are beginning to, in our part of the world, many of the trees are beginning to start to bud. The oak trees and things, they're still a ways away from leafing out, but you can tell that they are beginning the process of the first thing they do is they put out tassels, and then our cars get covered in yellow pollen for months, and we sneeze. You can tell that that's beginning to start, and then some of the other trees that come out earlier, they're already starting to begin to green up. And so you can see it. It's in the air. People are asking. People are wanting to get out and plant. Our phones are ringing at work, especially as we have more and more sunny days and warm temperatures, which we're having more sunny days than cloudy, dreary days. But as I say that, this is a cloudy, dreary, cold day. So it's like, but you can tell in the cycle of life and the cycle of nature that things are wanting to begin to grow. I've noticed many of the native perennial plants, they're starting to grow again. Then you see growth at the base of those plants, and it's that time of year. It's what happens. And the light begins to change this time of year. We get more daylight hours. The chickens start laying eggs again. There's just more warmth that is occurring. There's more sunlight shining, and every day the days are getting a little bit longer, and you can see this natural progression towards springtime. And you can see the light at the end of the tunnel that winter is about, is going to come to an end sooner than later. That's the good news. But saying all that, without going into too many more details about what I see happening, it makes so much sense that springtime would be the beginning of our calendar, because that's when it begins to grow. Now, that's springtime in the northern hemisphere, so I guess in the southern hemisphere it's a different conversation, but the Bible was written in the northern hemisphere, in that part of the world, and everything kind of goes on that biblical timeline, and the spring is the beginning of the year. Now, there are some people that say it begins, there's like a traditional time of year that it begins, and it's maybe like in the fall or something, but for all practical purposes, it makes sense that new life begins in the spring. And it makes sense with Passover being in that time frame that new life would begin near the springtime. And we're coming up on the first round of the spring feast. And it's an exciting time. It's our favorite times, are those times when we get together and have those feasts. I've gotten into Twitter battles at different times with some people, and my wife has to talk sense into me and go, why are you arguing with these people? And I was like, I don't know. And so I try not to do that, but sometimes I get sucked in to those conversations, and people wanting to dismiss Torah and dismiss what we're doing here. And I believe wholeheartedly that biblically we are commanded to keep these feasts, and we should have never departed from them. And Easter is around the corner. You're going to start hearing a lot about Easter. I think I've already seen Easter candies and Easter things in the store. And if you've never researched it, you must research it. We live in a day and an age when you're keystrokes away from a wealth of information that will tell you all about Easter and its pagan roots. Exactly when it began, who began it, who started it, and all the nasty details that you'll find. But look it up. See if that's right. Research it on your own. Just don't take my word for it, or someone else's, and certainly don't take what churches say about it or what the media says about it as the gospel truth. Do your own research. See if it is something we should take part of. So take this as a new beginning in our own life and a new beginning in your life. One of the favorite parts of this to me is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, where you get rid of all the leaven in your house. And it's such a great practice. Lent comes close, but it doesn't go far enough. And the principle is get rid of all the leaven of man's teachings, and get back to the source. Because, if we've learned anything, men are going to lie, they're going to deceive, they're not going to tell the truth, they're going to misunderstand. Sometimes it's not on purpose, they just, they never researched it. And I'm telling you, we live in a day and age and time which there is no excuse for you if you don't research it and check it out. It's on you. I don't think that a lot of this is a condiment, going to condemn you to hell if you do these things, but certainly I don't think you're doing all that the Father wants you to do if you don't check into these things and just check it out and see and know the truth for yourself as much as we can about how these things began and how what the origin are. So once again, as we come into this new season of spring, always anticipate hearing something from the Father. So be open, have your ears on, is what they used to say in old CB terms. Do you have your ears on? So with that, I'm just going to leave that with you. And once again, I thank you for listening to Shabbat Lounge. I ask you to leave me a comment, a like, a subscribe. It could be good or bad. I don't get anything from anyone, so I don't know if anyone listens. So I appreciate any feedback that you can give me. And as always, thank you for your time. And once again, keep your ears on. See what the Father might be telling you.